Hello, and we are live. Welcome, everyone. I am your host, Coach Hadassah, metaphysician, personal development coach, wellness entrepreneur, and founding member of Extreme FX Global Academy, where Bitcoin and Forex collides. And today, it's Think About It Thursday. I told you we were going to come with these themes, right? Think About It Thursday. And I'm actually it's kind of impromptu because I didn't plan on it. I was actually just going to have today as, you know, just go ahead and have a talk where we're just kind of going over some things about thinking and our thoughts and just do we sit down and think about things, and if we did, what would be the results of it. And then I hopped off of because I was just on Coach Cotton's live, who's also a personal development coach with her own business, Restore. I think it's Restore, Renew, Rejuvenate, and no. You know what? I am so sorry. I'm so sorry. I know it's Restore and Renew, Restore, Repurpose. There you go. I'm gonna get those. Let me write that down. I'm gonna get those 3 R's together, because even coaches need coaches. Okay. And so I was on her live, and then she brought on her mother, kind of spur of the moment, just one of those, here she is now, but one of those just kind of spur of the moment things. And ooh, oh my gosh, she dropped some bombs. She came with jewels and all kinds of other resources that was just right on time. So I said, you know what? This would be perfect to talk about with our Think About It Thursday, because it's something that we do not think about. And it just really goes along with something that I was going to read here. So let me go ahead and bring in Coach Cotton, because she is here now. Let's see. There we
Hey,
go.
hey, you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. So let me go ahead and get you on here. There we go. Coach Cotton. We got Coach Cotton in the building.
Yes, thank you, Hadassah, for bringing me on. Look, I'm like, I gotta end this because it's about to be 4 o'clock. I can't have Hadassah late now. And then I called my mom. I'm like, just thanking her, and she like, just you got Hadassah at 4. I'm like, yeah, let me go, let me go. And
And
she's about to come watch it too with me. She's like, send it to me. I don't know if I'm her friend. Send Hadassah to me. And I'm like, I'm gonna tag you. Give me a minute.
really, right. And look, I'm gonna try to see if I could look. She's probably like, oh my gosh, how did I get pulled into this one? Girl, she dropped some. I was just saying to everybody, I said she dropped some bombs and some
Yes,
jewels and some
yes.
and a whole bunch of other stuff. And and look, I'm one of those people, like I might have something already in mind, like, okay, I'm gonna go with that. But then, you just have to go how spirit leads you to go. And
Mm-hmm.
that's always the best direction, right? So
Yes,
it really goes in with the theme of today. Of course, it didn't come
absolutely.
until this morning. I'm like, I'm sitting there thinking, like, okay, Thursday, we got to talk about it Tuesday,
Right.
Thursday. And I'm like, and I'm just thinking about it. I'm thinking about it. And then Spirit said, that's it. Think about it Thursday.
Mm-hmm. Think about it. Think
Think
about
about
it.
it.
Yes.
Right. Think
Think
about
about
it
it first.
Thursday.
Look, I need to be writing now. I'm gonna go back and watch the playback so I can get the titles so I won't forget. Or we had what was Monday? See, look, I already forgot about Monday. We
Uh,
did Let's
I don't.
Talk About It Tuesday,
Right, we
Wealth
had Talk About It
Wednesday.
Tuesday, Wealthy Wednesday, Think About It Thursday. I don't think I had themes on Monday, so I have to think about it. Right, I didn't have the themes for by Monday yet, so now I got to think about Monday
Right,
when the weekend comes.
right. Because I'm like, I gotta write this down because if we keep going, we're gonna forget all about these topics.
Right, yeah, so the themes for the day that just guides it. So, but yeah, on Think About It Thursday, and which that's what we're gonna go with. Oh my gosh, with what your mom presented when she came on.
Yeah.
That is it. That is key. And you see, I said, I was like, oh my God, I wish I could just hop on the plane. And look, that's why we need the money, like we need it, because here's
Right.
something like that. And you know what? I'm about to just book a flight right now. I'm gonna be there this weekend. Boom. Right?
Absolutely.
It's one of
Absolutely.
those things, instead of, oh man, I wish I was there, and then, miss it.
Right. And now you,
um,
you didn't even attend because we worried about finances and all these things, you know?
exactly. Oh, we did have a theme for Monday. Melinda said we had Millionaire Mindset Monday.
See?
See,
See, look, I got to
come
write.
through,
Thank you, Melinda. Thank you,
Melinda.
Melinda.
Come through, Melinda. Thank you. Look,
I'm like,
I
because I
thought
know
I didn't
you
have
been,
a theme.
yes, and I know you have been running all week, so I was like, you sure?
Right, I forgot about it. The Millionaire Mondays. Yep, that is it. So that's the thing. We had the Millionaire Mondays. We got Let's Talk About It Tuesdays. We have the Wealthy
Mhm.
Wednesdays, and then Thursday is Think About It Thursday. So
Yes.
what do we need to think about? Like, first of all, I'm gonna read this, and I'm taking this from, these are my textbook materials. It was, two textbooks, but they're volumes 1, 2, 3, and 4, so two volumes
Right.
in, one book. And this is from my ministerial training
Okay.
that I've had. Shoot, I think I've had these books for the past 20 years. So, but I have to read this. This is in the introduction of the book. And it's the book is called Elohim, the Archetype Original Pattern of the Universe. And so in the introduction, page 1, let's see, we got 1, 2, 3, 4. In the 5th paragraph, maybe about the kind of like the middle of this paragraph. It says, nevertheless, we excuse me, nevertheless, we must, for our own eternal welfare, regardless of our present so-called church affiliation, keep an open mind to proven facts, which the adversary, who was created to oppose the truth, is always present to influence us in the wrong direction. Did it ever occur to you that we remain ignorant of a tested truth and scientifically proven facts, most particularly because we failed to make a personal, detailed investigation of important matters? This failure to investigate positively retards the progress of our understanding and knowledge in every vocation and phase of life, both physical and spiritual. Sometimes, here we go, stopping and thinking for a moment over the essential things of life eliminates many regretted years of poverty, sickness, humiliation, embarrassment sometimes, death, and destruction. Therefore, we should learn to pause and try to think intelligently before we finally conclude affirmatively or negatively. We should do this before an ultimatum or final decision is rendered on any secular subject. The majority of us are, to some extent, guilty of this negligence. Now, that's deep, but it's so true. Now, mind you, this book was published in 1961. Okay. We're still here. It is 2021, right?
Right.
And this is still going on. So, in regards to, when your mom came on and she talked about that, about self-care and health, and like she said, with many business owners and entrepreneurs, um in her studies, in which, of course, I'm a wellness entrepreneur, right? I'm a certified health and wellness coach, right?
Yes.
Certified health and wellness. So, of course, I know exactly what she's talking about. Not only just from, textbook or whatever, but from experience. You know what I'm saying? From
Right.
experience, because before, now, first of all, I grew up in the wellness community. I grew up in the wellness community. I grew up in the network marketing community because, my mom, she's been a health and wellness coach just from her own experience, where she had to, take control of her own health, right? And then in the network marketing space, she got into, the many different like health businesses that had
Mm-hmm.
really good health products and things like that. So she used that along with her wellness coaching, right? And so just being around that was like, okay. But then, of course, as I became an adult, and then, I had my own health challenge. We talked about that before, with being
Yeah.
diagnosed with carpal tunnel syndrome, and then having to come home, and now thinking like, okay, well, what I'm going to do, because I'm home now with my children, and I'm used to having my own income, and I'm not about to depend on anybody,
Right.
for income and everything. So although I didn't, it's not that I didn't have any income at all. I just didn't have the income that I was used to, you know? And so now what do I do? All right, well, let me kind of fall back basically on, or my plan B. And we talked
Mm-hmm.
about that before. My
Yeah.
plan B was business, right? My plan B was become an independent business owner. And I like the way that your mother said it. She said, "No, you're independent blessings owner." I'm
Absolutely.
like,
Yes.
come through, right?
You should have saw me. I'm like, man, I'm trying to type. I'm like, here she goes. I
Look,
can't even write my thing.
yeah, I was writing it down. I was like, wait, what she say? Okay, let me, girl, I was, girl,
I do it the same way.
I got my legal pad. Like, what? I'm taking notes. Okay, you got to take notes on this stuff. So,
You gotta be ready,
you
especially for
got
her. You gotta be ready.
right. You got to be ready, girl. I'm so glad I was sitting at my desk with my pad and my pen was right here. Girl, I was writing it in the chat, and then let me find my pen. Is it working? Okay, what did I write in the chat? All right, let me write it down. I was taking notes, but so that was my plan B, right? Independent business owner, independent blessings owner was the B for me. So
Right.
so in doing that, I hit that rock. I really did. I went there, and it was so funny because it was like exactly 7 years ago, and it's coming up in my memories now.
Mm-hmm.
7 years ago, um, I came across an opportunity, February 22nd to be exact, February 22nd, 2014. I came across a opportunity that dealt with in the cannabis industry. And I
Wow.
thought, I was like, what in the heck? Network marketing and cannabis? Like, what in how can I get involved in this? Right? Girl, it was free sign up. I signed up. I just saw the link. I signed up. I didn't know who, like Adrian Dynamite Sloan talking about the 15 touches. I didn't 15 my butt. I saw it right then. I'm an Aries. I take action. I'm gonna think about it later. You know, I'm like, I'm gonna figure this thing out later. But right now, let me sign
You
up.
trying to see how you can get on.
Right? Free to register. Okay, boom. Now what? Now what? I'm like, eventually it's gonna cost something, but I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have the money when it's time to pay. Right?
Right.
That's how I did that.
But it's free right now, so let me
But
just see.
yeah, it's free right now. I mean, if you overthink think free, I don't understand. I don't understand that. How do you overthink free? so so it was like opportunity, free, network marketing, cannabis. All right, let me sign up. So I did. Now here was the thing about that. With that, then, and especially in the network marketing space, in the entrepreneur space and everything, that's all you hear. It's this grind culture.
Yeah.
You gotta grind, you gotta grind. Team no sleep, team no sleep. Grind, 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 grind. Don't go to sleep. If you, if you only got $2 to your name, you shouldn't even be asleep. This is the kind of stuff that's out
Right.
there
You're
that
right.
they
You hear it
say.
all the time.
And I still hear it. You shouldn't be asleep if you don't have no, listen,
You better go to
you're violating a biblical principle when you do not rest.
Right.
Right?
Wow.
It says that in the where it didn't really take 7 days to create, it didn't take 7 days to create, but it was the 7 days that the creator showed Moses the creation. It just took him that time to show Moses that. And he said, about, you got the 6 days, and then it says in the 7th day. Now, if in the 7th day, the creator rested.
Yes.
Who are we?
Not to be trying to rest.
Not to be trying to rest, right? The actual creator rested. So then, why am I not going to rest? And then here's the thing about the body. We actually heal, rejuvenate, and restore when we sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Our body is repairing itself when we go to bed and we rest. So that is the reason why. I mean, now, here's the thing about it. I can't sleep a full 8 hours. I don't care how much I try. I do. If I go to sleep, when I fall asleep, I'm gonna wake up 4 hours later. I don't know why. That's just, but I'm pretty sure when I was younger, I slept a lot longer.
Right.
But still, even if I go to sleep, wake up in 4 hours, and then maybe just lay there for another 4 hours, I don't know. But the body needs rest, and not just laying down. Your mind even has to rest.
Yes.
Right? Your mind even has to rest. So a lot of times I might have been laying down, I might have been sleeping, but my mind was steady going and going and going and going.
Right.
Just like, it was just like your mom said, with that grind, the burnout,
Right.
and here it is right here, the burnout and crash, because everything starts here with the mind. So you got to rest it. Our minds have to rest. Our bodies have to rest, because then you're refreshed. And you talked about that the other day, the reset, refreshing and renewing, the restoration that happens when we rest. So who are we to violate that principle because we're grinding for, look, we're gonna be grinding for that dollar until we get it, and next thing you know, we have to take it and pay hospital bills and emergency room bills,
right? Because we're not resting. You're right.
Because we're not resting. So, oh my gosh, let me put this out. So, yeah, I just want you to, tell me, look, your thoughts, because this is Think About It Thursday. Your thoughts on that, because that was powerful, what she shared with that.
Absolutely. So my thought, look, when she came up there and she started saying that, I was like, oh my God, I knew she was going to get up here and start talking, and I could not write and type at the same time. I was like, so I'm going to put in the chat, because then I can go back and watch it later, right? And so that's okay, so you got it. Okay, good. So this is the thing. My thoughts on, like you said, and your whole thing, and then my mom was saying too, it comes a time that grinding, now it's affecting your health, right? Because you're worrying about your business, you're worrying about your money, you're worrying about how to go out here and get it. Like you said, team no sleeping. And look, let me be transparent. I used to be one of the people talking some sleepers and new bro. Don't let me get up here and lie. I was doing it too, thinking
we doing it too. Thinking we doing something. Yeah,
right,
you
like
sleeping. I heard Steve Harvey say that mess. I was like, all right.
Yes, right. And so here I am too, following the trend of need to work. And then when I wasn't seeing results, this is what I thought about during this whole topic of conversation. When I wasn't seeing the results that I wanted, now I made myself feel horrible. I felt guilty. And because I'm looking at all this work, so-called work that I'm doing, exhausted, low energy, not getting sleep, and then I'm still not seeing the results of all this
Right.
alleged hard work that I'm doing. And I'm going, okay, Lord, so I'm doing all this and I'm still not seeing the results and the overflow and all these things. Is because you out here doing all this so-called business building. And one, I ain't never tell you to do that. But two, I told you to rest. I told you to sit your behind down. I didn't tell you to go out here and try to help the whole wide world and try to save people. So I'm going, you know what? Let me start listening. And then, like my mom was saying, now it's affecting your physical health, your mental health. You can't even get out there and do things that you need to do for you. Cause you so busy out there trying to run business and do all these extra things that right now you're suffering and your lack is with yourself. So yeah, that's my thought about it, Hadassah. And I'm going, wow, here we go. We're not looking at the big picture of the grind, the grind, the grind. What you grinding is you grinding your health, you're grinding your life because you're taking away. Because we all know that when you're doing business, something goes lacking. But like my mom told me, she said today, if the business owner is going downhill and declining, then there is no business.
There's no business.
There's no
Yep.
business, Adassa. And so, yeah, so that's my thoughts on it because I'm going, wow, this revelation is so key and people need to hear this because we do hear that a lot in different industries. Work, 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 work. Like, even if you do have a 9 to 5, you working so hard, you're there on a job from 8, 10, 12 hours, and then you get home, you don't have time for family because you're too tired. You barely want to eat. You barely just can make it to the shower to lay down and get back up and do this all over again. And what are you depositing to yourself? What are you doing to make sure that self is taken care of? What are you doing to meditate, to mentally digress? You know what I'm saying? To mentally get back to a state of peace, a state of calmness. Instead of you grinding, 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 you out here working so hard. What are you doing to take care of you so you can continue to work? Right, child?
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, he
And
looks something like, honey.
right. And it's true. And I like like you said, and what we highlighted right here. And if you're grinding, then you do not trust God with your business.
Yes.
You're working in your own strength.
Absolutely.
And in the scriptures in Deuteronomy, first of all, and like let's really look at this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's really break it down. Okay? Because let Yahweh be true and every man a liar. All right. That's
right.
what we gonna go with. Okay. I'm not gonna sit up here and lie
we
on
going
God.
with that one.
We're going with that one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna lie on them. That's not what I'm gonna do. And so here it is. I always go back to the children of Israel in Egypt, because because that story is true today. It's just modernized, right?
It is.
So here it is, just like they were crying out because of the hard labor and bondage. You got people in the 9 to 5 now, and and whatever it is that they're doing, the hard labor and bondage, it's mental slavery. It's physical in the sense that, you're there, you're chained to the desk or whatever. And even me and my sister was talking about this the other day. She's like, because she works from home. She's been working. Yeah, I mean, like I'm working from home, but I'm working my own business. So I got freedom to move how I want to move, and I love what I do, right? But I can move around and do it.
Right. You're not imprisoned to anything right now. You can still have that liberty to go and do.
Right. And so she's been working from home but she works for a company, right? And so in the beginning, it was okay. And so now the things have certain things, let me move this up there. Certain things have changed to where she's like, now I feel like I'm imprisoned in my own home.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I know that has to be, that's like, whoa. I like, I'm at home, but I never felt imprisoned in my
Right.
home.
Right.
Right? Like, I can get up and go. I can move around, go to the bathroom and stuff like that. Where she's like, if I want to get up and go to the bathroom, I have to do this and this. And then if I do that, they're asking, well, why did you do this? And why did you take this time at such and such a time? And it was like, because I had to go pee.
Right.
I mean,
Why you ain't not ready? Why you ain't not ready? Because I had to go pee. My pee was ready.
Yeah, I had to go use the bathroom. So now and that's, it's kind of, I mean, it's still messed up, but it's different when it's like that and you're in the office building from when you're like that and it's like I'm in my home. I can't
Right.
even go use the bathroom when I want to in my own home.
Right.
Like that
That's mental. Wow. I didn't even think about it like that. You right. I'm at my house.
I'm at home in my house.
Wow.
And I'm feeling in prison in my own home. Like, no, right?
Mm-hmm.
That does something to the psyche. That does something to the mental. And just like your mom was saying, now we have that, mental disorders and stuff that start happening, or mental illness, or the mental breakdown, I should say, right? These mental breakdowns that starts to happen. And it's like, that's like, wow, so here it is. Like, say an opportunity presents itself, just like an opportunity presented itself to them, right? An opportunity presented itself, and it's like, okay, Moses was the one that he told, and then Moses went back and told them, hey, we could be free. We finna get up out of here. Just like an opportunity presents itself to us, and then we go tell the people, hey, you could be free. You know what I'm saying?
We have financial freedom, right?
Right. We have financial freedom, right? And so then, okay, they take that, just like they took the opportunity and move forward. So say these people, they take the opportunity and then they move forward. And so now we're all out in the wilderness. Then you got the murmuring and complaining. And it was better for us back there in Egypt or whatever. Or like, say in our cases, if we're going to start grinding to death, like we were back there in Egypt. It's like, why are you still working the same way?
Right. Wow.
Than you were back in Egypt. And
you're doing the same thing you've been delivered from.
Why you doing the same thing that you've been delivering from? Why you going back in here when just like with the children of Israel, all he said was basically, trust me. And you said this earlier, if you just had the faith of the mustard seed. And girl, when I saw what a little mustard seed looked like, it looked like a little sprinkle of pepper.
You need a
like, it's so little. I was like, this is how small the mustard seed of faith could just like, I'm like, wow. And faith means trust. So just like I said, you're not trusting him with your business, to where he say, okay, just like what they had to do, they had to follow that cloud through the wilderness. When it says sit still, be still. Rest. When it's time to make a move. Why are you trying to grind? And just like the analogy with the brakes, you got brakes. Well, what are brakes for? Stopping. Right? Brakes. BRAKES, as in stopping the car, or BREAK. Take a break.
Right. Take a break. Either way you spell it, they all telling you to sit down.
They're telling you to sit down somewhere. Stop.
Absolutely.
Pause.
Right.
Take a pause. And that's what they had to do when it was time for them to move and follow that cloud. The cloud, then go. Then when it's time to take a break or stop, when the cloud stopped and they had to just chill for a minute, stop and chill, because you have to rest. Look, and I said I was going to write this down, because if I get these R's and your business wrong again, it's And I'm trying, like, right. I'm trying to sit up here and plug your business, and I'm sitting up here like restore, rejuvenate,
Look, let me
refresh.
tell you, girl, it's so funny because my own brother, my sister-in-law, they be like, renew, restore, what one is it? And look, I'm like, they start saying the three R's that do everything. It's renew, repurpose, restore.
Okay, renew, repurpose. I'm writing it down. You see, I'm writing it down. Restore. Okay, because I'm not gonna, sit up here like I'm all. Cause my coach, the cotton business is renew, refresh, and rejuvenate. And it's like, no, that's not it.
Look, well, let me be honest. Look, my mama go, oh, you gotta go to her doctor thing. I said, yeah. She said, what type of coaches? I said, oh, she's a medical physician, a wellness and health physician. She's like, what's medical physician? I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. I think she dealing something in wellness. I'm like, I gotta go Google it. She'll tell you though.
Right. Right. Basically, metaphysician is well, it's a lot of things that's included in that, but meta means beyond, right?
Okay.
And then of course, physician. So that has to do with the our physicality. So our physical body, our the physiological process, but it's meta or above and beyond. So it's really another word for spiritual.
God, okay. Thank you for educating me, because when she asked me, I'm like, I don't know. You know what? I don't know. I need to Google this because I know she relate. And I did say, I know she relate a lot of things to spiritual, so that might be part of it. But I wasn't definitive. I couldn't be confident in it.
Yes.
But it's good. I'm like, Mom, it's good though.
It's good.
And then she was like, I'm gonna join, and she did. She came right over here too. She's like, I'm gonna get with her. I'm like, yeah, she's good. She's good.
Yes, but yeah, it's just one of those things. And so, I love that. I love what she said with that when we're doing that, then we're not trusting God with our business.
Right.
And I remember, look, in my years of being a former cosmetologist, look, baby, girl, I was hard headed. I'm not transparency. I'm telling myself. I was so hard-headed Aries, right?
And my mama Aries too. We both Aries, girl.
Right. Just bumping my head all across the place. And he was trying to get me to it wasn't time for me to like leave the industry yet, but where I was working at that particular time, he was telling me okay, now it's time for you to come from here and like go home. Because again, it's a skill set that I could do from home, and I was anyway. So he was telling me to go ahead and get from out of there. And here I go again, like, I don't know who you're talking to, because the money is good. Right? I'm like, I done built my clientele and I done built this clientele in record-breaking time. I ain't finna go nowhere, right? I'm just like, well, and then next thing this clientele, right, that I'm talking about, I built, girl, people moved. They moved to another state. They moved away because where I lived and where I worked at that particular time, it was like just about in the middle of nowhere. And so so if they moved to the city, they would have had to come all the way out to where I was, right? Then you had people, some of my clients that moved to a different state. Then you had some of them just started going to somebody else. I mean, and I'm sitting up there like, what's good? What's going on here? And Spirit said, I told you to. It's time for you to get up out of here, right?
They don't want to listen. Yeah.
Right, wasn't listening. And so I finally did, I went on and I left. And then as soon as I did, guess what happened? Next thing you know, people started calling me. I had to, this happened or that happened or whatever, but are you still, at the start, are you still taking people? And I told them, like, I was working from home at that particular time. And look, the clients that moved away and the clients that did, those that were still close enough, they started coming back. And then those that like moved away or moved to a different state was replaced with other clients.
Right.
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 And so what did he do? He restored what was taken away. Because I guess he was like, do you not realize that I'm the one that sent you the clients that you had in the first place?
Right. Absolutely. Like,
You
see,
know,
you thinking it's the clients, they coming to you because you do great hair, and you do, but it
right.
ain't got nothing to do with you. And
But
you can have all the skills in your hands to do a nice hairdo, but if I don't send you the people, you just gonna have some skills that you can't use.
yes,
Child,
exactly. And
same
so,
thing with
and
me. Same thing.
right, and but what did the scripture say? When they did come up out of there in Deuteronomy chapter 8, he was like, look, you didn't, I'm about to give you something that you did not do. Right? Your
Right.
hands didn't, I'm giving you cities that you didn't build. I'm
Right.
giving you homes that you didn't, I'm giving you vendors that you didn't plant. I'm
Mm,
giving you things that you didn't do because look, did Adam and Eve do the work in a garden or were they placed there?
place. Right.
Right?
Right.
They didn't make the sun and the moon and the stars and the galaxies and the oceans and the fish and they came in after everything was done and all they had to do was maintain it.
Right.
Right? And he gave them dominion, meaning I'm giving you the power in order to be good stewards over everything that I already set up.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
And so then the same thing when in Deuteronomy chapter 8, that's pretty much what he said too. He said, don't, he said, don't, basically, he was saying, don't get too big for your britches now.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Right?
Right.
Look,
Absolutely.
look,
Don't
let
think
me,
you're doing this with your own strength and might.
right. This is not by your own power. As a matter of fact, I'm about to, you know, I got to pull it up because I do paraphrase a lot because it's the way that, that, that I get it. And he said, okay, therefore I'm gonna start at Deuteronomy. You know what? I'm gonna just read the whole chapter. Deuteronomy chapter 8. All the commandments which I command you this day shall you do and observe. Right? So we have to do what's commanded of us.
Right.
And they're in our heart, right? Our heart beats on command. We don't make our heart beat. It
Right.
beats on command. So these commandments that's placed in our heart that I give you this day, you shall. That's a must. Like you shall observe to
Right.
do. So it's an action that we have to carry out. That you may what? That you may live. Live. Live.
Live.
Okay? That has to
Live.
do with health. So
Yes.
if we're mentally burnt out because of the grind, we just grinding and grinding and grinding and grinding. And if you're not this, or if you're not that, or if you don't have this and you don't have that, you shouldn't be sleeping. You shouldn't be. Listen, I've
It's
been
so
there.
ridiculous.
I've been there and done that. I did that 7 years ago. And I'm telling you, it come up in my memories. I did it with that company I was telling you about. I wasn't sleeping. And then it's funny because again, you got the memories that come up, and then of course little selfies or whatever that I'm taking of myself grinding. Girl, I
Right.
look at them pictures and look at my eyes.
Can't even know how to recognize yourself from grinding.
Man, I was looking at my eyes. I was like, oh my gosh, I was deranged. I was. I'm like, I'm
Wow.
looking tired. Like they
Wow.
say, our eyes are the window to the soul. Yeah. I looked in
Yes.
my eyes. I was like, girl, you was not healthy.
You're right. You're right.
Right? You are not healthy. And like to look, grace over the grind.
Yes.
Exactly.
Grace.
It is by the grace and the mercy. And it's not, and look, and this not broke talk. It's not broke talk at all. But just like we talked about with Wealthy Wednesday, what that word is, that it's the root word is well. It has to do with wealthy, or to be wealthy has to do with well-being and
Well-being.
welfare.
You brought that out so good. When I tell you yesterday, I was writing notes and I was like, I can't hardly keep up. I had to go back and watch the playback because when you brought that thing down, I had to really get in tune when you was talking about that well-being and that will. You took that root word and it said wealth is will in the foundation, the origin of that word. I was like, my Lord, Hadassah, you was educating me on yesterday. I'm talking about some collegiate, intellectual breaking down of these terms, and I was like, that gets me excited. That means that you want to stimulate me. You want to rouse me. Start breaking down some terms.
Yes, right.
And I'm in tune, and so that well-being alone about health and what wealth really means. And we're not talking about riches and all these things. We're talking about your well-being, your will to do. You said that yesterday. It was magnificent. It was magnificent.
Yes. And it's and with that well-being, baby, what good is it if you cannot enjoy it? It's all there. Now you sitting in the hospital. It's all there. Now you crazy and deranged. It's all there and you can't enjoy it. And just like
no quality of life.
Yes.
No quality of life.
Look, and I gotta say Mama Cotton. And like Mama Cotton said,
She's I seen her the link to. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have to tag her into your live yesterday. I got you.
And say, oh, this is beautiful right here. You can accomplish more walking in the grace of God than in the grinding of self.
Yes.
Because it is not about you.
At all.
Right? It's not about, look, I'm telling you. Girl, look, listen.
I'm with you. And you know what, Hadassah, it gets so deep, and we don't even think about these things because what we're doing, we're going. We like the Energizer Bunny that just keep going and going, not taking no time out to really check on us. We're not looking after our own wealth. What is that? Our well-being. We're not really in tune. And then now, when we are at the top and we got the riches, we're not happy. There's no fulfillment, right? There's no joy. And then you're wondering why millionaires are committing suicide. You remember the actor and comedian Robin Williams? Wealthy. On the outside, looked like he has this great life, and he takes his life because of being unfulfilled, depression, because he didn't have anyone want to help him do that self-check, to do that self-care. You know what I'm saying? So I just think about that. We are going. And now we're breaking down, right? The grind is grinding us up. Literally, when you think about a blender or a grinder, what it does, it breaks down things. It's like my sister has this magic bullet or something, and I had some whole coffee beans that I bought. And I was like, oh my God, I bought the wrong thing. And I took it to my sister. I'm like, Key, can you do something with this? She's like, oh, I'm going to put them in the grinder, right? She's like, here. And so she helped me do it. And that thing grinds them things into like a powder. And I'm going, if we're grinding, we're deteriorating almost into a powder form. We have now lost what the substance of what we're doing is. We have lost the sustainability of our health. And so now when we talk about self-care, like my mom was doing that retreat, it makes you do what? Break, stop, take a pause to really now invest in your well-being, into your care. Because again, what's the business without the business owner? You grinding, but then you're not taking care of yourself, and then your health is deteriorating, your mental capacities, you wonder why you're forgetting things. You can't go on and you looking all crazy because there's no health to what you're doing. You're not considering yourself. Your headaches, your head is hurting, you getting all these new ailments because you're not taking that time to really take care of self. You're not taking that break. You're not taking that beat, that moment to really, now you're investing into your business and you pour into your business. Now it's time to stop and pour into you. Let's do that self-checkup. Let's have that reevaluation. Let's trust God with the business to know that if he ordained it and he gave you this will and this blessing, let him control that. My mom always says to me too, she goes, I'm just a manager of the business. God trusted me to manage it, but he's the CEO. He's the founder of this thing. He just gave me the trust to manage it, to operate it. So who are you thinking that you so worthy that you getting all this praise? He thank him for granting you the grace to manage it. But that's all you doing. So she always says, you know what? In my prayer time, I have meetings with the CEO.
Yes.
And that's her going to meet with God. Why? Because he's the one who's really over this whole operation. He's the owner of this business and the CEO of this business. I'm just the manager. So what we got to do, we got to check in with the CEO. We got to meet with him. And so when she says those things to me and she just relates them in a natural term, a natural element, I'm going, wow. And it's the same thing about how when we do ourselves. We got to check in with us. Sometimes we got to do some reevaluation with us. We got to meet with us, get some meditation in, do some things that is going to bring some joy to us. Sometimes we need to go somewhere and clear our minds, clear our heads, to connect on a deeper level with self.
Mm-hmm.
My mom, she does these retreats. She was doing a lot, like once a year before the pandemic. And just last year, we couldn't have it before the pandemic. But it's called a total transformation retreat. And it's just 3 days, the whole weekend where we come and we get in tune with our relationship with God and ourselves. And she has these activities like painting, just very relaxing things where you can go journal, because you got to check in.
Yes.
You got to stop that grind and check in, one, with your creator, and two, with yourself. Mm-hmm. Hadassah, this is just a great topic for today. This whole thing, it's just awesome. This think about it Thursday.
And
you really gotta think about it.
Yeah, and that's what we started off with. What did this say? That if we just stop, if we just stop, right? If we just stop and think over the essential things of life, it would help us to, just basically curtail many years of regretted, poverty and bad health and
right.
things, if we just stop and think. But the thing is, the key word is stop.
Absolutely.
Right? Stop, think. And then I had even pulled up like a definition or the etymology and all of that stuff about thinking. And I wasn't finished like writing it all down.
Right.
But thinking or thoughts, it has to do with meditation.
Absolutely. So meditation.
We think that meditation is like, clear your mind.
Right.
Nothingness. It's like, no, but when I looked up, I went in my little Bible search, right? Put in the word meditation, and every scripture that came up, I meditate on your word. I meditate on so you're meditating on something. So it's not just the clear, it's like, it's clearing all out the whatever nonsensical chatter or whatever, but you're meditating on, if I meditate on his word, or I meditate on his goodness, or I meditate on, and I'm meditating on, okay, if you brought me out of this, you're going to bring me through this. If you was here with me when I was poor or poverty stricken.
Right.
Well, I can't say poverty stricken because none of us really poverty stricken. Got smartphones.
Right, at this point, yes, you can get some information, right?
We're not even poor because we got children. We're not even poor, but but just coming through from like whatever station you are in life, and you feel like that there's more, is because he's put it in you in order to really desire more, so that he can bring that to pass. However, it's just like, okay, I trust you, but I trust in, and I'm meditating on when you got me from here to here. So if you do that, then guess what? You're just going to do it again. And you'll do it every time you're doing it. It's just an elevation after elevation after another elevation. It's those steps. But we have to trust that that's what be done. That's what he'll do. But we have to, again, meditate on his goodness, meditate on that we're trustworthy, and we have to trust. And like manage just meditating on those things, and those are thoughts. That is thinking. but you got to sit down for a minute first in order to even do so. And then even in the scriptures, when they talk about when he look, when he basically brought Aaron and Miriam, Aaron, Moses, and Miriam out to the forefront because it was some murmuring and stuff going on. Wait a minute.
Right.
Oh, what's going on here? Hold on one second, because I do not want my phone to cut off. I put it on the charger, but it's act like it's not charging. Wait. Okay, take over for a minute. Something going on. Hold on.
Okay, gotcha. Yes, I will take over. And this lesson is good. And like my mom just posted, she said, CEO, God is the chief everything officer. So that means here again, we need to get some rest. She also put in the comments, she said, let God stay woke and you get some rest. It's his business on the earth, and using you to manifest it.
Yes.
Power, just fire.
Hey, well, you go to sleep. Who was that was wrestling? Was it Jacob or was it Abraham? Which one of them wrestled? They wrestled with the angel.
With the angel. Jacob, yes, he wrestled with the angel.
Even Jacob went to sleep.
He rested. He
went to sleep. He wrestled with that angel and wrestled with him. You wrestling with them thoughts and everything in your mind. Go to bed.
Yes.
Right? Go to sleep. Wake up renewed. But look, when we sleep, when we rest, we're in a dream state. And when I was mentioning about when he was speaking to Moses and Aaron and Miriam, he said, look, if there be a prophet among you, I will speak to him in a vision and in a dream.
Right.
We ain't talking about aspirations. Aspirations is, I want to be a singer. I mean, unless you actually had a dream about it.
Right.
Right. But he speaks to us in dreams and in visions or prophetic visions. But
right.
If there be a prophet among you, a prophet meaning it's a messenger. It's a messenger of God, a messenger of Yahweh. And it's like, hey, he spoke to me and he said, and then not only that, but if you're saying, okay, he said this or that, it better line up with this book. Right? It better line up with the scriptures, because he said, I changed not. Don't come saying something that I can't verify and confirm.
Right. Because he gonna call it out anyway. What is that at?
But the thing is, in order to even dream, to get a message, you gotta rest. You have to sleep.
Right.
So this one we could stretch all the way out, because
you might have to hit a part 2 with it. You might have to do a think about it Thursday next week, or just make it follow up Friday with the same topic from think about it Thursday. I don't know.
Follow up Friday.
Look, you might have to try to combine them in some way, because we really, and I think this topic needs to be in more depth, because we don't think about it. Like, we really don't think about how essential it is for us to self-care, for us to rest. We don't. We just don't, right?
Yes.
So you might have to hit them with a part 2.
Yeah, we might have to do a part. Yeah, this has to be a part 2. It does, because and it's important for all of us, but especially for women. For women, because we're not realizing that a lot of our, cancer is just running rampant, right? You got cancers, you got, women suffering breast cancer, and women suffering, different reproductive cancers and things like that. And those things are really because of self-care, especially breast cancer. Breast cancer is a sign that you're not taking care of yourself, and you're taking care of everything else, everybody else. And then even feeling, the mom guilt, or the regret, or the remorse, or the resentment, even that, I'm thing and everybody else, and I just don't have time for myself. Make time for yourself.
Absolutely. Yes.
And that's my my theme. If you even go to my YouTube, it says House of Hadassah, and it say spirit, self, family, business, and in that order.
Right.
That's how
Right.
my life now, because I did have a breakdown. And in that breakdown, that was one of the things. I have 7 children. 7. And as you can see, sister, she over here. What's she doing? She listening to her music. But
Hey, sister. I didn't even see her back there.
yeah, I'm her caregiver. So what happens to her if I
Yep.
break,
Hello.
right?
Hello. The whole operation going down.
It's like no. And so I had to just stop. And I'm like, I'm stopping this team no sleep grind. And if you broke,
Right.
he's sleeping. No, I'm broke, not sleeping.
When you think I'm laughing so hard, doctor, because when I now think about it,
Yeah,
it was so ridiculous. It was so ridiculous. But here I go, like I said, I'm being honest. I was quoting that and trending with it and hashtagging it. And I'm going, I can only imagine what the Lord was saying. God was like, look at this bunny foo.
right.
You ain't even rested.
Because that's
You know,
like, look at this fool. Let's just, oh my God.
somebody sleep is the new broken and teen no sleep. You better go to bed.
Go to bed.
You better go to sleep.
And I'm telling you, my whole self-care, it started with, you know what? First, let me go. I was like, what do my insurance covers? I called up the therapist that took my insurance. I didn't care what nobody thought. Oh, she crazy,
Right.
going to see a psychologist. Yes, I am.
Because I need some self-care.
I need self-care. What's my diagnosis, doc? Give it to me.
Right.
I mean, I like, yeah, because I'm about to snap, right? So yes, because mental health is important.
Absolutely.
You do not want to suffer a mental breakdown, right? And
Oh,
that was one of the first things, the mental health. And then I started going to just getting a regular massage every 4 to 6 weeks. Why? I'm picking up about 150 to 200 pounds just in my daughter and her wheelchair daily,
wow.
twice, right?
Wow.
So massage. I started getting regular massages, and then next thing I went to massage therapy, school for massage therapy.
Look, you got a whole new business out of going to get your self-care.
Off of self-care, I got a whole new business. I promise you I did. That's exactly how it happened. I went mental health. I started getting that, then getting massage. And then I'm like, I think I need to, because I'm like, people need this,
Right.
And
It's a necessity.
and that was another part of my self-care too. Just doing something that I don't know, personal, that I would say maybe that was part of personal development.
Yeah, it absolutely is. It absolutely is.
Right, that I went and did that. And I mean, all of that stuff. And when I just stopped and I started clearing stuff off my plate. I had a lot on my plate, and I was like, I'm not doing this no more. I'm not doing this no more. I'm not doing that no more. I'm just not, right. And when I started doing that, more started coming in. When doing that, it was that I had written down in my I did grow here and my journal and all of that, even down to, because we needed to move from the house that we were in.
Right.
Wrote down about what I needed to have in the house, because I was trying to buy a house and get my credit together and just all of that kind of stuff. Girl, when I just stopped,
yeah,
everything that was written down in the book already just poof, like manifested.
Wow. Good.
I want to say it was crazy, but it wasn't crazy. You know what it was? It was the creator.
Yeah. Wow. Not crazy, but the creator. I like that, Hadass. I gotta take that one.
Right? Not crazy. It was the creator. That's what it was. And so, and wrapping this up, I wanna invite everyone that's tuning in. If this is your first time tuning in, then that is wonderful. I hope you took some jewels and everything from it. it was definitely something that was like, yeah, I had Think About It Thursday there, but it just took on a whole new direction when Mama Cotton came through on
Right.
live and just came through with some jewels. And I was like, we got to go with this. Like,
We got to go with it.
with this, that is Think About It Thursday. Think about your health. Think about, because your health is your wealth. Without you, without a healthy you, I mean, the abundance is not going to come. Seek ye
Right.
first, right? Seek ye first the kingdom of God. Seek ye first the kingdom of Yahweh and his righteousness. Then he said,
Yes.
all these things shall be added unto.
Added.
It will be added. And that's not to say that you don't do work. Like, yeah, we working right now.
Working right now. 100%.
You know, but just with what it is that we're doing, what we receive, we give it back. We give back the value. And then next thing you know, the things that we have worked on, you know, people reach out to us and all that kind of stuff. We're working in our business. Right?
Yes, absolutely.
And
absolutely.
So, you know, I invite you to the hyper launch that's about to take place like right now.
Look, you got to push the hyper lunch back to 5:15 because look, the things for the week they've been running over stuff because they're so good.
They're so good.
You might have to start changing time to 5:15 so you can get over there. You can get
right. So we'll say, you know, we're gonna start at 4:07.
Yes.
At 4:07 Central Time, 5:07 Eastern. Right there, the information is scrolling below. You could go to Linktree /coach.hadassah. And when you go there, you'll see, you know, Zoom. So you click on Zoom, it'll take you right in and enter the password power. I might take that password off of there. But anyway, enter the password power, at least for today, because I haven't taken the password off yet. And we'll show you what it is that we're doing over here. We have a powerful community at Extreme FX Global, Global Academy, where Bitcoin and Forex collide. And look, our product is money. We're teaching people how to get money in a $7.3 trillion market. We have personal development, financial literacy, because of course, look, if you are going to grind, at least know how to keep it. You know, and at least know how to keep it, and then take those dollars to work for you. I mean, you might have to do a bit of grinding in the beginning, but in your grind, you do have to rest in between. But then also, when you take that, the savings that you have, you take that and you put that to work for you so that you're no longer on the grind working for it. You know,
right.
that kind of mentality of the grind and just this, I find that our people and our people do, but I know that it has to do with you know, it has to do with slavery, to be honest. It does. It has to do with slavery. It has to do with that generational, it's deep down in our DNA. And we do take pride in just slaving and grinding. And that's something that we really have to get out of our system. Because look, other people, the other cultures, they don't brag about just working that hard like we do. Look, they're the ones that say work smart, not hard.
Right.
They're the ones that say that work smart, not hard. Us, on the other hand, you lazy if you're not slaving to death.
Right. Absolutely.
We really have to get out of that kind of thinking. That is the mindset that we need to get out of. And again, I'm not saying being lazy, because that's not it. But look, like the Savior said, take my yoke upon you, because my yoke is easy and my burden
is light.
Right? So
absolutely.
Invite you over to the hyper launch. It's about to take place like right now. Got 2 minutes, so we got to hop on there. Okay, we got to hop on over there, and this will be a part 2.
Yes,
tomorrow, if we're going to do it for the next Think About It Thursday,
right.
I don't know yet. Right? Follow up Friday, I don't know.
Right.
But we're about to go over there, so you are you're welcome to come over to the hyper launch. So thank you, Coach Cotton, for coming on the last minute.
Anytime, child. Thank you for joining all of my stuff and supporting. I appreciate you and love you so much.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. And thank you, Mama Cotton, because woo, if it wasn't for you, we wouldn't even be talking about this right now.
Right. When I tell she dropped the fire, she do it every time. She give me every time.
Yes, she dropped that fire. All right, so we'll see you over there on the other side at the Hyper Lounge. Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. So you guys take care. Peace.